My flipping and wholesaling company has made $1.1 million in the last 9 months in 2025, and I'm going to teach you how to copy me. So this is going to work for anyone that's just starting off trying to make their first 6 figures, or people that are trying to scale to 7 figures. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Brian Davila. I've done over 400 real estate transactions between Las Vegas, California, and Kansas City. I own about $5 million worth of rental properties, and I've built majority of my wealth through real estate investing. But that's enough about me. Let's get right into it. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel because I interview the top investors across the entire country, and I teach exactly how to make millions flipping and wholesaling real estate in today's market. So first thing you need to do if you're trying to make your first 6 or 7 figures flipping and wholesaling real estate is stay consistent with at least one marketing stream. And that marketing stream could be anything. So that could be cold calling, texting, driving for dollars, sending out mail, wholesalers, MLS marketing, agent outreach, PPC, PPL, or Facebook leads. I've done all 10, and currently right now in my business, majority of our money comes from texting. So what my company is currently doing is we are actually sending out text messages every single day using batch leads. If you want to use my affiliate to sign up with them, you can go to the description of this video. It helps support the page, but you don't have to. So what we do every single week is we upload more data into our batch leads account, and then we text that data every single day. And by doing that, we average anywhere between 2 to 4 closings a month just doing this strategy. I've also hired VAs that manage all this marketing because it would be a lot of work for one person to try to manage marketing, do the sales, do the closing, do the dispo, do the acquisitions. But we're going to talk about that next, but I want to stick on marketing for one more second. The biggest thing that makes people fail in flipping and wholesaling real estate is because they are not consistent with their marketing. They start marketing for a week, maybe 2, maybe 3, and then they stop because life happens and they get busy. And then they take a month break and then they restart it again. And they kind of go in and out of marketing for an entire year. And then they blow a bunch of money. And then they eventually quit. So if you want to be successful in real estate, you have to commit to doing one of these marketing streams and do it for an entire year. And then you might be thinking, hey, like I don't know which marketing stream to pick. Well, that's going to depend on your budget. So let's say you're starting off with a little bit of money, then you should do something like texting and cold calling. But let's say you have at least $5,000 to $10,000 a month that you are willing to invest, then you could do something like direct mail. I use a company called REI Print Mail, and their affiliate is also in the description of this video. You could jump on a free call with them, and they could literally break down how much mail you need to send out, what your average deal size is going to be, how frequent should you send out the mail, what list should you send it to. And that whole consultation call is free in the description of this video. So if you want, go check them out. But that is another marketing stream that I am doing consistently, is sending out mail every 2 weeks to distressed sellers. So if you want to literally just copy exactly what I'm doing, you can go to the description of this video and do so. I try to make it as easy as possible when I'm making these videos because I truly want to help people get their first deal and make a living in real estate. My last point on marketing is you have to pick one market. I know right now it is super sexy for people to go nationwide and everyone wants to hit the whole country, and I get it. That strategy does work. But from my perspective, I've been doing real estate in Southern California for the last 10 years, and here are the benefits. 1, I don't need to find a new escrow company every single time. 2, I've already built a huge buyers list of verified investors. That means people that I know are actually going to buy a property and not try to wholesale it. Next, I have contractors that will fix up the properties. I work with them. I trust them. I know their work. Next, I also have a real estate license in Southern California. So when I want to resell my flips, I get to list them. Next, I know all the laws. As soon as you switch into a new market, real estate laws can change quickly. For example, eviction laws in Southern California are completely different than the eviction laws in Nevada. And those laws are different than the eviction laws in Kansas City. So if you're constantly switching markets, you're constantly going to be running into new roadblocks because you don't know the local laws. But yeah, just to summarize the first point, make sure you do consistent marketing. Do not start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. Again, you don't want to do that because you're going to be wasting money and it's going to be even harder to get a real estate deal. Next thing you need to do if you want to make 6 to 7 figures flipping and wholesaling is build a team. And you might be thinking, hey, I'm brand new. I can't afford to pay a team. Well, 2 things you could do. 1, hire VAs. So I have VAs right now that I pay about $500 to $1,000 a month for a full-time employee. If you can't afford $500, then you probably shouldn't be in real estate, honestly. So one solution to building a team is you hire VAs. The next solution is you find people that are willing to work for commission only. And I hear other gurus say, oh, you don't want to hire entrepreneurs. You want to do W-2. Yeah, once you're upscaled and you're making millions of dollars, then yes, you should not hire commission-only employees. But if you're just starting off, or you're someone that wants to make 7 figures, you could get away with doing commission-only employees. I personally do it, so I know it works. Another reason you need to build a team because it helps your consistency. If my business was solely relying on my actions and me to show up every single day, I would literally have half of the results. So let me tell you an analogy that will help you understand this. An analogy that I like to tell my students is, let's say I walked into a college basketball team practice and I played one of their team members one-on-one. Who do you think is going to win? I'm 34 years old. I barely play basketball. So of course that basketball player is going to win. Now let's say me and a friend walk into that basketball gym and we play one of those players 2-on-1. Who's going to win? That player might win, but our chances goes up significantly. Now let's use the same analogy, but let's say I walk in with 2 friends. So that means 3 of us are playing one person. Who's going to win? I'm going to say our chances of winning are extremely higher, especially in the long run. Why? Because if I have one person that just focuses on rebounding, and then I have another person who is really good at just shooting free throws, so they could just stay there, and I have another person who's just really good at basketball, we are going to wear out that one basketball player. Well, this analogy goes back to real estate investing. Let's say I have one person whose only job is to make offers every single day. Let's say I have another person whose only job is to make sure that marketing goes out every single day. And let's say I have one person who's only looking for buyers every single day. I think that team is going to be a lot more successful than the person that is trying to figure out how to do flipping and wholesaling part-time. So that's why it is extremely critical, especially in 2025, to stop thinking of flipping and wholesaling as a side hustle and more like a business. Businesses have employees and team members. Side hustles are built off motivation, and motivation comes and goes. So make sure you start thinking like a business owner and build a team. Okay, next thing you need to focus on if you want to start making 6 to 7 figures in flipping and wholesaling is focus on big deals. I learned from some guy named Myron Golden. He's an internet guru that teaches people how to make offers and stuff like that. He talks about it is easier to make a lot of money at once than it is to make a little bit of money over and over again over an extended amount of time. So let me put this in another way. Let's say I close a flip and I make $100,000. Do you think it's easier to close a flip and make $100,000 or to do $5,000 wholesale fees until I reach $100,000? I'm gonna have to do $25,000 wholesale fees to do the same amount as one big flip. So that's why in my company, I preach every single day to my sales team, do not lock up skinny deals. Focus on bigger deals. Negotiate harder when you actually get a deal. Don't bend on your purchase prices that easy. Fight for bigger deals. I promise you, if you do this, you will see later that once you make big paychecks, it's easier to stay in business. It's easier to be excited about business rather than fighting and clawing for a $5,000 or a $10,000 wholesale fee. So for example, this year in 2025, we closed one flip that made $216,000. So I know this still works in 2025. We've also had another deal that closed for $85,000. We've also had another deal that closed for $116,000 on one deal. So I know this works. Do not go out there and scratch and claw and fight for $5,000 wholesale fees. I promise you that will be the lead indicator that you are about to go out of business. And that's going to lead to my next point. You need to master 2 exit strategies. So the first one is going to be you have to learn how to flip houses. Flipping houses is hard. It's complicated. But once you get it, it is easier and it's the fastest way to make 6 figures or multiple 6 figures on one deal. Especially if you're in a cheaper market, there is no way you're going to make $100,000 on one wholesale fee. So you have to learn how to flip houses. I'm going to make another video explaining everything that you need to know about flipping houses. So again, if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, I promise you, I'm going to give all the information away for free on how to become a successful wholesaler or flipper. And if you actually want to talk to me directly, I'm starting a Skool community that is going to be in the description of this video where you could go check it out and you could actually talk to me once a week. You're going to get contracts, community, coaching, calculators, and of course, teaching you everything you need to know about flipping and wholesaling. And it's only going to be a couple $100 a month and you can cancel at any time. But I am passionate about helping people start to make a living in real estate investing. So if you're serious and you actually want to learn, go sign up today and I'll see you in one of the calls. And I am just rolling this out so I know the prices will go up. I'm only looking to work with about 10 to 20 people because if it blows up to be 100 to 200 people, it's super hard to keep up with everyone. So I want to keep it small. So I will close it down once we get to 20 people. So go to the description of this video, sign up for the Skool community. It's going to be cheap, affordable, and I'll be able to help you with personalized information. Okay, the last thing you need to understand if you want to try to make 6 to 7 figures in real estate is what kind of market are you currently in? So right now it is September going into October in 2025, and they just started lowering interest rates. So what does that mean? That means that the 4th quarter of the year is still going to be slow because real estate is seasonal. But I'm predicting that in January, you are going to see house values slowly start to tick up. Buyers are going to start coming into the marketing. Days on market is going to start to lower. Investors that are flipping houses are going to be willing to pay more for houses. And people that are looking for rental properties are going to flood the market again. So that means you need to take advantage of the real estate market while it's good. There are some seasons where it is not smart to flip houses. I would say that would be the last 3 to 6 months in Las Vegas and in some parts of Southern California. But now that you see interest rates are going down and everyone knows that, people are going to be excited again about flipping and wholesaling real estate. So if you're someone that has been on the fence and you've been thinking, right now is the time to get in. Even if you don't end up signing for my Skool community, make sure you continue to learn because I believe we're going into a good real estate market and those don't last forever. Sometimes things are good, sometimes things are bad in real estate. Hopefully this helped you. I'm going to make more videos like this rather than doing podcasts, but I actually just did a really good podcast with one of my friends. So check out this video, subscribe, and if you haven't, go follow me on Instagram.